Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we'll get started on our next multiplayer matchup. I'm going to be playing as the Blood Angels, and we're going to be going against the Adepta Sororitas. We're playing on the Ghostland. It is a strategic command objective with 1500 point value, 80 point target, and 8 turn limit. So let's get started here and see what we can do in terms of our outcomes. I think this should be a pretty advantageous map for us here. So I have a Sanguinary Priest, I have the Furioso Dreadnought with the Heavy Flamer and the Fist. Now I have the Sanguinary Guards, I gave them the Plasma Pistols and Axes. I have 2 Hellblasters with the Heavy Plasma Incinerator, 2 Landspeeder Tornadoes to have the Heavy Flamer and Heavy Bolter. I have 1 Assault Squad that has a standard kit, and I have 20 points left. So I think I'm going to end up giving my other guy here a hand flamer. Now what I can't remember is, does a single hand flamer clear out an arco-flagellant squad? If it does, then this is going to be a highly efficient, cost-effective way of dealing with those guys, so I'll give one just to see how it goes. And if they do, I'm going to regret not giving it to my other assault squad, because I have spent those points possibly inappropriately going with the plasma pistols for our Sanguinary Guard here, but we'll see what ends up happening. And we'll keep these guys in the front to hopefully get buffed as we're running everybody over here. We can capture this point, and then we'll fight in the center here, and we should have pretty strong force to be able to push. And then on this side here, I like to come at it from this angle here because we have all these obstacles in our way to act as cover in case anybody wants to sit up top there and shoot, and then we can move our guys around to start collapsing in the center once we get to where we need to be. So we'll kind of have to get an idea of what he has for forces here to be able to counterattack him, but we each got 5 points here. And so he's moved his guys down here, and this should actually work out really well for us because we should be able to almost clear up most of these guys on the side. Now if we hit our shots, then we should be able to kill these guys, but I think I'm just going to go with the overcharge here. I can't take out the rhinos because they're all hiding behind cover there, and that should allow us to one-shot these guys. Now, ideally I'd come over here and then start to get closer to the center for the following turns, but I'm not 100% sure I can kill those arco-flagellants with my hand flamers, and if I jump here, I may just barely be able to get the cover. So if I come here and I use my heavy flamer, I'll easily be able to kill these 2 guys with our land speeder, and then that gets them up to 85. And then what I'll do here is I'll just jump you to here, and then this will also body block them to stop the arco-flagellants from coming after my tornado land speeder if it doesn't get the kill. Okay, and it does. I wasn't 100% sure about that, so what I can do here is I'll just come up and take this. And then since we've killed everybody here, we should be able to just pull in closer. And now I regret not having my hand flamer for over here, but we should be able to easily snipe this penitent engine because he can be a real nightmare for us. Oh, we must have got a bad damage roll because we were unable to kill him. So I'll just run you up to here, we'll heavy flame here, take out those arco-flagellants so we can capture the point, and then I should be able to just finish him off with my heavy bolter here. There we go. And then I can body block this with the tornado because those arco-flagellants will not be strong enough to be able to take those guys out. Now I will have to use our jetpack to get over here. I don't think I'm going to do the charge attack because I want to guarantee that I can get you in the right position to body block these guys here. Now unfortunately we got terrible damage roll. Only 1 of our 5 guys just landed their attack, so that's pretty below average. Now here we've got these guys. He did pop smoke, so we know he's got his rhinos up here, and I think we in fact saw the rhino when I was moving those other guys around. Now, the Sister Superior we can easily assassinate with these guys, especially if we start buffing everybody with our damage here. And then, yeah. So, that's an 80% chance. So I could do dual attacks and blow up one of the rhinos and kill everybody that's inside there if he hasn't unloaded them. Or I can easily assassinate his Sister Superior I don't understand why some of you have such a lower chance to hit. But let's get you there. We'll get this. Now you've been buffed. Alright, that gets you up to 100% chance to hit. Alright, she's down. And I can take this. Now these guys are in the smoke, so that will improve their evasion. I can walk you up to here, and then I can set you up with your heavy flamer overwatch. And I could retreat our guys, but I think I actually want to just try to jump in here. Because if nothing else, I may be able to just body block the Rhino. Oh, excuse me. Voice crack there. The rhinos and whoever they unload, and then the following turn mop them up with these guys. Yeah, see, I'd have to pull these guys up the stairs to be able to shoot into those rhinos. And that's not really going to happen. And I think our chance to hit is pretty good here. So if I... Well, I don't know if he's got heavy flamers as a thing, so maybe I actually want to come over here. Alright, so you did a pretty good job hitting there. Now, unfortunately, I got those little, like, yellow exclamation points here. And that means they're not going to have a good zone of control if that sticks around. And I'm not sure why that happens sometimes with those charge attacks. Now, if I move you up to here, that will, again, limit his ability, but they can move around the corner there. But if he moves around the corner with his Rhino, then obviously the flame attack is going to get wasted. But if he has infantry and he tries to run the infantry through, then they'll get hit by that heavy flamer, and that will do damage to anything that can really be in there other than maybe a canoness, which I guess would kind of suck, but it would still at least get some points of damage onto her. I just don't want these guys' rear to be exposed, because then they're going to just easily get killed. Now they do have some evasion, so they're up to 25 evasion, so that's not bad. I think that should probably be fine. So we've got the one at an angle and the other one's facing directly on. Alright, what does he got? So he's got Repentia here. And he's got another Sister Superior. So he's killing them. Really what he should be doing is attacking with the Sister Superior first, and then the Repentia would be able to get in there. Yes! Alright, so he moved the Repentia over there, so that just killed them. And now he's going to have to waste an attack here. So if he would have gotten those kills with the Sister Superior, then the Sister's Repentia would have had more people to focus down on the Sanguinary Guard here. Okay, so he did bring the Rhino over there to body block, so that makes sense. Alright, and he's got more Repentia, so they should probably kill everybody, assuming they land the attack, yeah. And so that's fine. Now he's got these guys here, and he's still got those Arcoflagellants. Popping some more smoke. We got our counterattacks. Oh, and now he's going to concede. So, I mean, I guess it's pretty obvious that we were going to end up winning this match, but it probably was a little premature to concede, but, I mean, we have 3 points captured. There's no way he's going to be able to get more than those 2 points because we have everything on lockdown. So, I guess it makes sense if you know you're just going to lose, but it's going to make this a shorter episode. So, we took out 2 Sisters Repentia, 2 Pennant Engines, 4 Arcoflagellants, 1 Sister Superior. Our Sanguinary Priest obviously has zeros because he's just there to buff and heal for the beginning. The Furioso has 100% accuracy with this Flamer. Hellblasters have 8. Okay, so 1 did miss their shots. That's why it didn't do as good. Tornadoes have accuracies in the 80s to 90s. Our Assault Squad had really crappy melee accuracy there at 69. The other Assault Squad only had the ranged attack at 100%. Which was the Hand Flamer, and then our Sanguinary Guard has 100% accuracy, and the other one has 60%. So I don't know why that one was so low compared to the other, but overall those guys definitely paid for themselves. I think I'll still upload this video just because I do think it's a good learning point here for the Hand Flamers. So they are enough to be able to squad wipe an Arcoflagellant squad. So given that's the case, if you bring your Death Guard, or not Death Guard, that's Heresy, Death Company, then they should be able to get your 5 stacks of the Black Rage, and that should make them do crazy amounts of damage. And it should also help them get to be able to surge on the first turn and then be able to do another round of attack. Because I think fully flaming out those Arcoflagellants must give you at least 40, because we got up to 85 momentum on our tornado on that left side when we flamed through the 2 Arcoflagellants there. And therefore, with the Death Company having over half of their momentum there, they should be able to surge and either do a second attack with the Hand Flamer, in which case they'll be able to squad wipe 2 Arcoflagellant squads, or you take one out and then you just run them to attack something like the Pennant Engine, and then they'll be doing upwards of 150 to 250 damage with their chain swords. So that'll give you a huge damage potential, even more so if you can somehow get them behind the Canoness or the Hospitaller, and that will allow you to kill them, or the Sister Superior, obviously. And you can also just give 20 points to your assault squad if you want to just keep them around, because they're very good against the sisters here. Not only because they can have that hand flamer, but once they start to accrue deaths and they only have 1 model left, then you just start throwing those crack grenades and they have 100% accuracy. So you can just start chucking those onto the heroes or vehicles to help you do additional damage. And then you can also have the jump infantry there to be able to run around and capture points. So that works out very well. The Hellblasters, just having a couple of them with the heavy plasma incinerator is always a great choice. As you can see, if they bring the Pennant Engines, you can snipe them down. It also allows you to snipe down enemy heroes that may be in the way, and then obviously they're really good against vehicles. They're some of the most powerful units, and you can keep spamming that overcharge ability, because if you have your Sanguinary Priest, you can just heal any of that overcharge damage that they end up suffering. And if you have more points, you can also buff them further with the Lieutenant ability as well, because then you can increase their accuracy and their armor piercing, allowing them to do even more damage. And then obviously the Sanguinary Guards are amazing with their X-Carnine axes. They can chop through any vehicle or hero that's in their way. And if you're killing lots of models and you use that Heirs of Ashkelon or whatever it's called, then you have a chance of getting another round of attacks going. And if that gives you enough kills, especially if you buff it with the Chalice, you may get a 3rd round of attacks. And because of their sheer amount of damage potential, that's how you make those guys really pop off. Now, if you're going against vehicles, you have to be a little bit careful, and that's one of the reasons they sometimes are a little bit tough to use against the Astra Militarum. Is yes, you can snipe down all their tanks, but then you're going to be eating all those explosions in your face, and the Sanguinary Guard do take damage with those vehicle explosions, so that can definitely whittle them down to get themselves killed. And then the other thing you need to be careful with is they do have the option to use heavy flamers and other units that can be very detrimental to you. Now, thankfully, the Sanguinary Guard have a little more armor, so they can definitely tank that better, but certainly if you're doing like a pure assault squad build, they can take you down pretty easily. Now, what I would say for feedback for our opponent here, I think if you're going to fight the Blood Angels, I think spamming the Battle Sisters is the way to go, because what I'm finding is a lot of people, when they're playing as Adepta Sororitas against the if they're playing with the Blood Angels against the Adepta Sororitas, what I'm finding is a lot of people are actually bringing the aggressors and giving them the hand flamers, and that's actually super effective, because then if you have a Sister Repentia build or somebody that's going to be charging in, they have to charge through the flame, and that's something that those guys have enough damage potential with their 3 hand flamers there that they can still do quite a bit of damage to units. That also gives them a zone of control. They get the reaction fire, which we were just talking about, which will be able to completely assassinate any Sisters Repentia that may be charging in there. And then if they're fighting armored units, they have the melee attacks, which do well. Now, by having the Battle Sisters there, you can just spam a bunch of crack grenades to take them down, crack grenades against the heroes or vehicles that may be in your way, and then you have the blessed ammo to mop up any infantry that may be there. So I think that would have been effective. I think you can definitely still make a case for the Pennant Engines, but it's just going to come down to trying to not overextend with them so they don't get sniped like what happened to me. But I really like the Pennant Engines, but you know, against the Tau and the Blood Angels, it's just crazy easy to snipe those guys down before they can pay for themselves. So perhaps it makes sense to not bring them, but I guess that's just going to be player preference. I think you can make an argument for the Arcoflagellants because they just have so much movement. You can lock guys down into melee. The big thing is, now that we know the hand flamers are so effective, in addition to any other flamer unit that the Blood Angels have, you know, plus or minus there. And the Repentia, while they can be very good at assassinating and taking out vehicles, they're extremely low armored, some of the lowest armored units in the game, and therefore all the bolters, the hand flamers, predators with the Gatling guns, all those things are going to be able to easily chop those sister Repentia down and get the kill. So you just got to be careful not to spam them so much against the Blood Angels, because you're just not going to have enough damage potential. As you saw, you had, you know, 4 of them there, and you killed 2 Sanguinary Guards. So yes, the Sanguinary Guards, especially because I had them all kitted out, that did make them pay for themselves. But then the following turn, I'm just going to run in there with my Heavy Flamer and other units and just easily assassinate everybody there. So I think going with your Hospitallers is always a good option, so you can give your guys additional damage reduction, HP, and then give a double attacks to a unit. This player just doesn't seem like he really likes to use the Canonist. Now, I would say that the Canonist can be quite challenging to use when you're playing against the Blood Angels, because they're just so good at assassinating single units, because so many of their units have high armor penetrating potential that it can be a little bit difficult to make her pay for herself. But you know, you got to remember, she has the ability to get rid of somebody's action points. So if she used, you know, only took out one of those Sanguinary Guard, well, she takes away their evasion and then takes away their action point the following turn, so that effectively nullifies them there, and then they can just ignore one of those Sanguinary Guard for a turn and kill them the following turn, or use that to nullify a Dreadnought. You know, there's lots of potential for her there, and then she's one of the best melee combatants in the game, especially since she no longer has to waste her AP to try to buff with her the ability that's gone to the Hospitallers. And then additionally, when she kills 5 units, which she should be able to if she has the Blessed Blade equipped, because you should be able to at least kill 5 models, especially if she was attacking, say, those Sanguinary Guard or Assault Squads, Hellblasters, something like that, and then she'll be able to get another action point on top of that. And if for whatever reason she had to fight a vehicle or a Dreadnought, then you use her ability where she gets 3 slices, so she does 3 major attacks to a single entity, which allows her to have way higher damage potential against stronger armored units. And then you give her another action point with your Hospitaller, then you'll have 6 attacks against a single model, and that should be enough to pretty much kill any vehicle or hero that the Adepta Sororitas are bringing. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. It encourages me to post more content for you. Have a great day.